Cutting benefits can and will likely cost the country more money rather than the government thinking that they can save money by doing so. And here are a few reasons why. Number one, there are people out there who use PIP payments to actually be able to work. One example can be that they have the Motability car scheme, and without that, if that's taken away from them, they might not then be able to commute to work. So by taking people's ability to work can cause them to be, having to give up their work and then having to claim universal credit, or their universal credit payments that they receive will become larger as a result. Secondly, there are people who use their PIP payments to be able to pay for things like private physiotherapy sessions, because waiting lists are very, very long. There are some people out there that if they have these physio sessions, they might be able to get themselves into a position to be able to work in the future. So you take those payments away from them, they're not going to be able to do those sessions. They're going to be added onto the NHS waiting list, which of course will put more strain on the NHS, and then become even sort of longer before they're able to actually work. And then speaking of strain on the NHS, one of the big problems is that if you take payments away from people, it's going to affect them mentally, causing a lot of financial stress. They can end up with more increased anxiety and depression. This is going to put more pressure on the NHS mental health services, which of course is going to cost a lot more money. There will also be an impact to the economy as a whole. So there are people who obviously use their PIP payments for whatever, for their disability, and then they might have some money left over to be able to treat themselves, whether that's going out for a pub lunch or trip to the theatre or what have you. You take their disability payments away, they're going to have to use their standard money to cover that, which often isn't enough, and therefore they're really having to tighten the purse strings, as it were. And this can have an impact on local businesses. We've already seen it a lot, that with the cost of living crisis, people are spending far less and businesses are being shut down, or they're having to reduce staff costs, and this is therefore making more people unemployed and more people then having to rely on universal credit. So basically, in the long run, this is going to have a major impact on the NHS, on more payments being made on universal credit. So there's absolutely no logic whatsoever to reduce PIP payments to save money, because it won't be saving any money. And you take payments away from people, they're not suddenly going to magically get better and be able to work. And it needs repeating again and again, PIP is not an out of work benefit. Yeah, don't know how many times people have to keep saying that.